Today I am going to speak on 16th Sutra. He beautifully describes what is yoga and how to achieve that state of yoga step by step. First thing I want all of you to know, yoga is not just physical posture, it has more sanctity to it. It is something beyond body. It helps you to have health and mental well-being, but it is not just replacing your anasin and metasin. We have idea yoga is just for health, physical health. No. Yoga can give, physical health is side effect of yoga. Yoga by itself is more sacred. It has its own sanctity. Patanjali exactly describes what is yoga and leads us to that yoga state, that yogi state by different sutras, by different verses. In these verses which I am going to speak now, he is talking about Vairagya. It's a very beautiful word. Vairagya. You can say the ideas which Patanjali is sharing with us now with the sutra Vairagya, this is the Vedic solution for this economic crisis. He is giving us Vedic solution. If this one word is understood, this one concept, this Vairagya is understood properly, we will not have the problems of extreme materialism and the problems created by the extreme materialism, and many problems created inside us by these so-called spiritual ideas. This understanding of this word Vairagya is necessary for the people who live in the world and people who work towards the spiritual enlightenment. In both levels, we need to understand this word, a very powerful word. You can say most misunderstood idea in the spiritual world is Vairagya. And this word is translated into English always as detachment. No, it's not detachment. In Sanskrit, we have three words. Raga means attachment. Araga means detachment. Viraga means beyond attachment and detachment. So the word Vairagya has to be translated as beyond attachment and detachment. It's like a transcending. The word Vairagya has to be translated as transcending the attachment, not detachment. This one confusion, this one word has created too much of confusion in the spiritual world. Because it is not understood properly, the concept was never practiced. The moment you use the word detachment, people are afraid. They don't want to listen to what you are talking. They don't want to listen to what you are talking. I have seen the very word detachment or renunciation is enough. Either they get up and walk or mentally they are shut. If they don't have that much of confidence, that much of courage to get up and walk, if they have some other work, they sit, but mentally they are closed. Patanjali gives us universal solution. Understanding of this one word can create cognitive shift in us, the way in which we observe things, the way in which we think, the way in which we express our understandings in our life as action. It's a very powerful sutra. He is describing about Vairagya in two sutras, 15th Sutra and 16th Sutra. Now let's enter into today's Sutra, the 16th Sutra. If any of you wanted to know about the last sutras, whatever I have spoken, 15 sutras, it's available in YouTube. If you find time, please go through. It will really help you understanding about the earlier sutras. Now, I will enter into 16th sutra, the today's sutra. I'll read the sutra, then give you the translation, then we'll enter into the commentary. Tatparam Purushakyader Guna Vaidrishinyam. Let me repeat the sutra again. Tatparam Purushakyader Guna Vaidrishinyam. There are many translations. The beauty of Sanskrit language is each word, if you break, will give you different meanings. The Sutrakaras, the Acharyas who write sutras, they play with Sanskrit. If you read as one line, it gives you one meaning. If you break it as words, it gives you different meaning. If you study word by word, it gives you different meaning. All meanings are what they mean. That's the beauty of Sanskrit. All meanings are what they mean. They have kept all the secret keys, the spiritual keys in the sutras. So whoever reads, whoever listens, whoever internalizes, they understand as according to their maturity. The initial level seeker, if he opens up this book, he will have inspiration to work on this sutra. A seeker who was working on these ideas for a few years, if he opens and rereads, he will have inspiration to go to the next level. A seeker who is almost done with everything, who is in the verge of enlightenment, if he reads, he will have that last push, that final jump. You can understand the sutra in many ways. I'll try to give the translations, 2-3 translations, and try to share what I need to share about the sutra from my own understanding and from my own experience. The translation of the sutra, it's from Swami Vivekananda, and I have 12 sutras here, 12 translations. Maybe I'll read 2 samples so that you can understand the same sutra, how it can be viewed by different acharyas in different ways. Vivekananda's translation. Tatparam Purushagyade Gunavaidrishinya. This is the sutra. Vivekananda translates as, that is extreme non-attachment which gives up even the thirst for the gunas. The guna word has no English word. It's not, you can't translate the word guna as character. Guna means the moods which you carry. Sometime, suddenly you will see, for no reason, you are in low mood. Sometime, for no reason, you are in a restless mood, irritated, agitated. Sometime, for no reason, you are in that restful awareness mood. These are the 3 major gunas we live with. That dullness or depression, we call in Sanskrit tamas, inertness, agitated, irritated, restless, we call that as rajas, rajoguna. Restful awareness, very peaceful and completely aware of what is happening inside and outside. This we call it as sattva guna. Swami Vivekananda says, when he translates these sutras, That is extreme non-attachment which gives up even the thirst for gunas, even the thirst for these moods, and which comes from the knowledge of the real nature of Purusha. He says even the thirst for three gunas should be renounced, which can happen only when you understand the Supreme Self. This is the Vivekananda's translation. Here I will read Jnaneshwara's translation, Sant Jnaneshwara. Indifference to the subtlest elements, constituent principles, or qualities themselves, achieved through a knowledge of nature of pure consciousness, is called supreme non-attachment. You can see how two different masters view this sutra from different level. Now I will try to give my translation, how I am translating, and try to add whatever I want to add. Many Sanskrit words, the moment you try to translate with one English word, you will reduce the quality of that depth of that word. So I am using 4 or 5 words to translate every single word. Withdrawing from desires through the conscious visualization of one's inner space is the higher state of awareness. Tatparam Purusha Khyate Gunavaidrishinyam. Now let's enter into the subject. The today's subject, what Patanjali wants to convey through this sutra. Understanding of this one sutra can completely change the way in which we look at the world, the way in which we experience the world, the way in which we feel our life. The whole thing can be transformed just by this one sloka. The last sutra, Patanjali spoke about the renunciation of the outer world things. In this sloka, Patanjali speaks about the vairagya related to the inner world. I can say the vairagya related to the inner world is more important, need to be understood than the vairagya related to the outer world. As I was explaining the word vairagya, it is neither attachment nor detachment beyond attachment and detachment. If I have to give you one example, say at the age of 5, you are playing with the toys, car, bus, so many different toys. And now, at the age of 40 or 50, you are not detached from the toys, you have transcended the attachment with the toys. You don't say, oh, you don't know how difficult it is to renounce these toys. It's not that you have a hangover. It's not that you constantly you are thinking about it and forcibly you renounced. No. You just transcended. And you don't need it. You are just beyond. This is what I call vairagya. Just elevating your consciousness to that level where you don't feel all those things are attached to your being, or you are detached from it. Please understand. This idea needs to be understood in a very deeper way from all the angles. I have seen people. In India, I lived 9 years by walking, visiting different spiritual places and temples and staying there. Because of my travel, I have seen different swamis, sadhus, bairagis, people who renounce. When you understand the word, literally, that word renunciation or vairagya in your own way, that can lead to too many complications. I have seen these people. They will leave their house, wealth, everything and escape. Go to Haridwar or Rishikesh somewhere. They will sit outside some temple for their food, begging and eating. But slowly they will get attached to the place where they are sitting. And they will not allow anybody else to sit in that place. I have seen. Means the understanding about vairagya did not happen properly. One more thing. The moment they read this kind of some of the ideas, see, usually people are attached to the outer world, the materialistic things. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Suddenly, somewhere, if they read or listen, this material things only gives too much of problem, then immediately they start choosing poverty. Please understand. Choosing is suffering, not what you choose. Choosing is suffering. If you choose wealth or choose poverty, choice is suffering. The ultimate lies, choicelessness is bliss, choice is suffering. Even if you choose poverty, continuously you will be forcing yourself to live in that. I have seen some of the so-called the social leaders who try to live in poverty. These guys will put up all shows that I would travel only in the third class compartment, I only live like this, live like that. They put up a show, I have seen. The big problem is, these guys, to maintain their poverty, society has to spend so much money on them. Now really, these guys, they will not travel in the first class compartment, they will travel only in the third class. Because he's a big guy, the moment he wants to go into the third class compartment, the whole compartment has to be cleaned and reorganized and arranged equal to the first class. Better if he goes in the first class taking one ticket, less money for the railway department, less expense for the railway department. I have seen one Swami who drinks only milk. The big problem is, his whole battalion, including the cow, has to go with him. I think it is much better if you drink somewhere here and there. Sometimes, for poverty, too much money is spent. If you choose poverty, indirectly you choose many sufferings. Understand? Here, when Patanjali uses the word vairagya, neither choosing wealth nor choosing poverty, bringing a deep understanding about yourself. Please understand. If you come to the understanding of choicelessness, suddenly you see, you radiate so much of energy, so much of awareness. Continuously you will be attracting wealth towards you, but you will not be bound by it at all. Please understand this. From my own experience, I tell you, I am working with millions of disciples around the world. So whatever truth I express, and they try to experiment and experience in their life. From my experience with them, I wanted you to understand an important fact. When you choose the choicelessness, when you are in choicelessness, suddenly the suffering, anxiety, fear, insecurity, everything disappears. When that disappears, your energy will be always in high mood. Naturally you will be creative, you will be expressing, you will attract wealth around you. Apart from that, you will be in that peaceful, restful awareness. In the last sutra, 15th sutra, Patanjali talks about the vairagya related to the outer world. The few ideas which I expressed now. Now, he is taking us to the deeper level of truths. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. Please understand. Many people come to me and ask, Swamiji, why do we have so many different gods, so many different paths, so many different masters, so many different techniques? I tell them, please understand, we had so much of inner world freedom. I ask them, see, in the West, so much of outer world choices you have, whether variety of car, or way of houses, or luxury, all the comforts of the outer world, you have so much choice. Because they had freedom in the outer world, they went on exploring. They went on developing, doing so much of research and development in the outer world. So when so much of research and development happens in the outer world, you have variety. Same way in the East, we had so much of freedom in the inner world. And so much of research and development happened in the inner world. Because so much of R&D happened in the inner world, we have variety. One more thing. Each tradition of Hinduism is independently intelligent to lead you to enlightenment. Each master is self-sufficient. That is why I call our Hindu tradition as group of religions. They are actually group of religions. Each tradition is independently intelligent. It can lead you to ultimate enlightenment. Each master is independently intelligent, who can lead you to enlightenment. Each technique is independently intelligent. From scratch to ultimate, it can lead you. Here, each sutra of Patanjali is independently intelligent. It can lead you to enlightenment. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. This sutra, Vaidrishinyam, that is the key word. I want you to understand that one word, Gunavaidrishinyam, free from the qualities. How we are caught in the qualities, how we can liberate ourselves from the qualities. If you just look little deep, all our attachment or suffering is caused not just by the objects, the quality of mood which we experience through the object. Please understand. You want some objects again and again in your life. If you believe some kind of mood is created by that object, which is good for you. If you believe that a particular object creates a mood which you don't like, which you don't want, you want it to move away from that object. For example, we want money not just for the sake of money. See, money expands your freedom. For example, without money, you have only one choice. You can lie down in your couch and worry. With money, you have choice of sufferings. Now you have more choice. You can lie down in Hawaii beach and worry. Or you can lie down in Miami beach and worry. Or you can lie down in India, Ooty or Kodaikanal and worry. You have choice. That is the reason we go behind money. See, anything, whether it is object or a person, the mood which they create in you, based on that you decide whether you want to be around that or away from that. So ultimately everything boils down to the guna, to the quality which you experience in that. Patanjali is such a great master. all the complications, difficulties, disorders a modern man is going to go through, he has predicted 5,000 years ago and gave solution. Sometimes surprising. How could he predict what we are going to go through in the so-called developed civilization? See, all the modern day problems, he is giving a solution in this one sutra. Three things needs to be understood. First thing, the object. Object or a person, money, your home, or car, bank balance, or son, father, mother, object or person, anything which is in the outer world. Second thing, the experience which you go through, because of that, if you are around object or person which creates joy in you, that emotion, that quality which you experience in your inner space, that is second thing. Third thing, the connection between these two. All these three needs to be understood. First, the object. Second, the experience. Third, the connection between the experience and the object. The connection between these two. In Vedanta, we have a word called Tripudi, means experienced, the object, experiencer, the subject, experience, what goes between these two. For example, a sweet. First, that sweet may create joy in you. So the experiencer experiences the joy. After some time, maybe after 4 or 5 sweets, the same sweet may create different experience in the same experiencer. Please understand. Here the object is also same, the person who is experiencing also same, but the experience itself will be different. Experience itself will be suddenly different. All we need to understand is the experience and the experienced are independent. They cannot be logically connected. You can see in your life, the same person, when you are in love, how you feel connected, how you always wanted to spend time around with that person. Suddenly when the love disappears, the whole thing is topsy-turvy. The whole thing is different. Now, you just want to escape from that person. Same person and same, the person who is experiencing is same, the person who gives experience is same, but suddenly the experience becomes different. Please understand. That is what Patanjali is trying to express here. All these three cannot be depended. All the three are constantly changing, but you go on believing all these three are stagnant, all these three are eternal, all these three are permanent. Please understand. The very root idea with which we are functioning and the very reality, the gap between these two is responsible for all our sufferings. That is responsible for all our sufferings in the outer world or in the spiritual practice. We can say, this sutra, if it is understood, many seekers, if you are a seeker and having lot of difficulty in your spiritual practice, everything can be cleaned. Wherever I go, whenever I meet seekers, this is one question always asked, FAQ. This is a frequently asked question. Swamiji, how can I balance between my materialistic life and spiritual practice? how can I balance between this life and this life? There is no such thing as two life, understand? There is no such thing as two life. Because we have this foolish idea that there is two life. We always think, especially Indians, they think spirituality is when you become old. Really, I've seen in my programs, youngsters, they say, oh, meditation, we can do it in the old age, leave it, it's okay. And old people, they say, all these things should have been done in the young age itself. Now it is too late. This one understanding can solve the whole problem completely. Here and now, it can solve the problem. Any problem, with this one understanding, you can solve it. You can sort it out. One story. I have a few jokes and stories for you, which I never miss. I'll read out. It's a beautiful one-liner, one story. The owner of a hardware store is dismayed when a huge new hardware store opens up next door, erecting a large sign saying best deals. He is even more horrified with another huge hardware store opens up on the other side of his store, putting up even a larger sign saying lowest prices. The shopkeeper is panicked, then his spontaneity works. He has a bright idea. He puts a large sign over his own store saying main entrance. Understand? One idea solved his whole problem. I can say this one sutra can solve your whole problem. The problem which you have with experience and the experiencer. You also have two shops next to you, constantly bugging you, constantly nagging you. Many of our problems are from the object. Object not giving the quality of experience you wanted. That's one kind of problem. Means you think money will do something for you and that is not happening through the money. You think car will do something for you, that is not happening through the car. You think house will do something for you, that is not happening through that object. Understand? Car is useful to drive. Home is useful to stay. Refrigerator is useful to keep your food. But we have a wrong idea. All these things put together can give fulfillment to us. No. You cannot have fulfillment through that. So when you have the wrong expectation, the experience is not given by that object. That's one kind of problem. It's a preliminary level, first level. Second level problem, the same object which was giving the same experience which you really enjoy suddenly disappears, even though you are having the same object around you. This is the second subtle level problem. Third level problem, the same object not only not giving you the same joyful experience, giving you the negative experience. That is the third level problem. Patanjali beautifully solves all these three problems with this one sutra. Internalize this one sutra, meditate on this one sutra. Change your understanding on this one, based on this one sutra. The whole thing will be solved.